It's time for an upgrade. Armoured Batman 2.0 has entered the Batcave. Let's take a look. So first of all, we'll check out the box art, and what a wonderful job once again Hot Toys have done with this. We can see a few little pictures in the background here, such as Batman standing on Superman, Batman holding a gas grenade, and also the large picture of Batman in the rain. The back of the box features all the usual write-up you'd expect, and then we slide off the slip cover to reveal the figure inside. The back of the inner box features another promotional image of Armoured Batman. So now we'll take a look and see everything that comes inside the box. So I've just lifted the first section off this base part, and my goodness, there's some weight to this figure. I thought a lot of the weight in the packaging was probably due to this base. I mean, this is quite heavy, but it's not too bad, whereas this is actually really heavy. So I don't remember the 1.0 being as heavy as that. So yeah, this is a beast. Yeah, just to confirm, it's definitely the figure which is really heavy, because actually this is quite lightweight because it is just a plastic base at the end of the day. So, but awesome though, nonetheless. Usual great job from Hot Toys. If I put that down and we'll have a closer look at some of the detail. So obviously on the front it says Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice Armoured Batman. And I'm just trying to get a close-up here of all the detail because it just looks brilliant. You can see all the cracks to the floor, the concrete floor, all the damage to the building. It looks straight out of that particular scene on the film. And there is a couple of little hidden elements to this, which is really cool. So there's this rock here, which is removable, and the exact same thing over here as well. I think it's this one. And the idea of that, I think you can store the kryptonite spear, so it looks like it's digging into the ground. And also, this pole would obviously go in there, and then you put the clamp on that, which holds the actual figure in place. In this box, we also get a few cables and this little box here as well, which is to be able to use the light up features for like the kryptonite spear and stuff. But to be honest, I probably won't be using that, so they can just stay there. So included in the package, we get the alternative head sculpt with the battle damaged look, a couple of alternative mouth plates as well, so for more of an angry sort of expression. We get the chest piece, battle damaged chest piece, which is obviously swappable with all the other parts of the suit as well. The kryptonite spear, alternative hands, and then a couple of weapons, so that would be the grapnel gun and the grenade launcher with a few grenades. So here's a look at the figure outside of the box, and first impressions, the actual undersuit is darker, so I don't know if you can see the grey batsuit underneath. That definitely used to be lighter on the 1.0, because that sort of struck me straight away how much darker this one looks. And the pieces, of course, do appear to be proper die-cast metal, which would be why it is such a weighty figure compared to the 1.0, which would have just been all plastic. So we'll get a little close-up here of some of the detail, so you can see all the scratches and scrapes on the metal suit there. Obviously nice colour to the utility belt. And then, of course, great likeness to Ben Affleck. Obviously, even more improved on than the 1.0. So you can see that definitely looks like Affleck, and it's even got his little mole there on the side of his cheek. The cape's got a nice feel to it, and you can see it's got a nice weathered look, which is, of course, intentional to give it that sort of battle damaged look. So there's sort of like grey markings on the cape, and then at the bottom we have the sort of torn edges there as well. There's no wire in this cape, but I don't feel like with the Armoured Batman you really need one, because majority of the time it was just sort of draped down the back of him. So it's not like you need to do anything crazy with the cape or anything like that. And this, boys and girls, is why you always read the instructions, because I didn't even realise that taped to the back of this is another cape, which is actually the battle damaged version. So it's got a lot more tears and rips to it. And that one does actually have a wire in it, so you can then achieve different poses. But yeah, I didn't even realise you get that, to be honest. So here's a look at the alternative mouth plates. So this one, which has got his mouth just slightly open there with his gritted teeth. and that looks pretty good. And here is the battle damaged head, and I have to say this has got to be one of Hot Toys' best head sculpts I've seen in a long time. I mean, if I can get close enough, look at these teeth. That is brilliant. And the eyes, that is just so good. The detail on this is crazy. Like, once again, I'm just blown away by that. That's really cool. And now I'm torn because I was going to just display this figure as the ordinary suit without the damage, because I have the smaller Fonjoy battle damaged figure. So that would do for that. But this is so good, now I'm pretty torn as to which one to go for. And then this one has more of an open mouth, almost as if he's sort of shouting or something. But again, looks really cool and really good detail there on the teeth once again. So here's the figure on the display stand with the crotch grabber and the kryptonite spear included. So this is sort of roughly what it'll look like when it's on display in the cabinet. It really is one of Hot Toys' best figures they've ever done in terms of Batman. And I would say it's got to be at least figure of the year for 2026. Or technically 2025 if you were lucky enough to get it last year. But yeah, really impressed with this. It just looks brilliant. And the fact that they keep doing all these diorama bases these days just makes such a difference, rather than just having a bog standard base with the movie logo on. I think that really helps to set the scene, having that base. So yeah, I'm really happy with this. And here he is inside the cabinet. It looks really cool with this blue lighting on him. So it looks just like the scene out of the movie where he's just waiting for Superman with the rain pouring down on him. But yeah, it looks cool. And I have included the grapnel launcher in his hand as well, because I like to try and have a different weapon in each of the different figures' hands. So we have the Parademon gun for the tactical Batman, his ordinary grapnel launcher on the Justice League version there, and then we have the grenade launcher on the regular BvS suit. So I thought, well, if we've got the kryptonite spear in the base, we'll have that grapnel launcher which he used on that scene on the film, and then that pretty much ticks off most of his weapons that he uses then. So oh, and of course you've got the Nightmare Batman with his machine gun too. I've now changed the cabinet lighting to give an even clearer look of the figure. So I'm really happy with how this looks, and I'm glad to have it on display with all the other collectibles from BvS and Justice League. Every time I do get a new Hot Toys figure and I start putting the reviews on YouTube, obviously because they are for my own personal collection, I'm not really going to sort of mess around changing all the parts up entirely when I know I'm not going to display it with those pieces, because it is just so much time and effort, and the more you keep messing around with them, the more likely you're going to end up doing damage. So, you know, all the battle damage pieces I'm not actually going to bother putting on him. And there's countless other reviews online on YouTube where, you know, people can see the figure in that form. So I just thought it was pretty pointless doing it, really. And very much the same when I did the Batman Returns 2.0 as well. Obviously you get all the glider wings and the Bruce Wayne head and everything. But again, if I know I'm not going to display them with those pieces, then I just didn't really bother including it into the video, to be honest. As always, thanks for watching. I always appreciate anyone that takes the time out of their day to watch. And if you don't already, don't forget to like and subscribe and see more of my lifelong collection of Batman. I've got lots of ideas for future videos. So either new items that I pick up or lots of stuff that I already have in the collection, which I think would make for a good YouTube video. So yeah, I do appreciate it. And well, I'll see you in the next one.